You wanna be a tank, but you don't know how? You gotta dodge block parry, or take him to the face. You gotta take them hits to the face. You gotta take them hits to the face. Tank it up, baby. Yo, what is up? I hope that intro wasn't too cringy. I took a long time making it, so I hope you did enjoy it, even though it's kinda whatever, kinda nonsense, right? I'm MetZense, also known as Brewstorm, also known as Josh, so whatever you know me as. Hey. For today, I have a video for Ny'alotha for heroic and down. Everything should work downwards. It is tank specific, so I'm not gonna go over things that I already expect you to know if you're playing any other roles, as DPS and healer, like don't stand in fire, right? I'm gonna have some timestamps on the right and left here somewhere. Probably, wait, over there, right? Somewhere over there. For each specific boss. So if there's any specific boss that you're looking to tank or not sure about, should be able to find it over there. Otherwise, without further ado, let's start the Ny'alotha tank guide video. For the first boss, we got Rathian. It's a very simple boss. All you gotta do is tank swap at every 2 stacks. Make sure you have your other tank as your focus target. That's how I do it, at least, to be able to keep track of their debuff so you know exactly when to taunt swap. You can see me do it right there. So Rathian does the Searing Breath, you tank swap, and that's about it for the first phase. Second phase, he uses Smoke and Mirror. There's gonna be 3 things you gotta soak. You pick one of them. I use a Lightfoot potion here. 150% increased movement speed. And you just charge through all those spikes, as many as you can get. And that's about it. For heroic, there'll be some assassin ads. It'll be your job to pick up those ads and try to group them together, possibly underneath more spikes. And that's basically it for Rathian. Very simple boss. Easy starter boss. Alright, here we are for Mod. Mod is very simple. We usually tank swap on every ad. The ads will be casting a cast called Dark Offering. You want to try to pull them inside of one of those purple circles in order to interrupt their cast, otherwise they will give mana for Mod and he'll go into phase 2 quicker. Also the Annihilation, you want to make sure you step into a circle for that. So here the next ad's about to spawn and we're attempting a tank swap. I can't remember if we failed it. Alright, phase 2. He'll do Obsidian Shatter, everybody will take damage or have damage reflected back to them. Your job as the tank will be to pick up these blue orbs and just run into your entire raid with them. And that's pretty much it for Mod, that's kind of how you do him. For the last part, we usually have one tank, whoever is tanking Mod at the time, keep tanking him, and the other tank will pick up every single ad and just keep him away from him. So he won't get the 100 mana and go into the phase 2 once more. Here you see the second ad spawns and I'm just staying there. We're not tank swapping at this point because Mod is really low. So I'll just pick up that ad and that'll be it. Alright, Skitra. Skitra is a little more fun on heroic. There will be a wall of ads. You will always have Skitra in the middle Also, you tank swap on every 7 stacks of Skitra, the debuff. You can use your utility to CC the wall of ads, so you got some place to work around with. He will cast the image. The 2 tanks will always be different colors. One tank will be marking, the other tank will call whichever color he sees. So I call out purple here, my entire raid will follow. And that's pretty much a rinse and repeat on Skitra. Sanish. Sanish is very simple as well. You want to move Sanish away from the spirits whenever she casts Soulflay. She will cast Torment, which makes these bad pizza slices on the ground. You just want to wiggle her around in between the safe spots. And then you want to tank swap at every Abyssal Strike. Every now and then your groups might fail the soccer game and you might have to be the backup for a team, which I am in this case. So just because you're a tank doesn't mean you're excluded from this, just so you're aware of that. So if you don't know how to do it, the ball will spawn in one end and you basically just gotta play with your team to get it to the other end. We cut it very close on this attempt, but we made it work, so it's all good. I think you'll be seeing me have a sort of relief, because it was very stressful. And there we got it, and we managed to kill Sanish. Vexiona. One tank will be on the boss the entire time, the other tank will pick up ads. The Void Ascendant ads will cast a Annihilation, like a Kamehameha beam. You want to make sure you always face them away from the raid so they don't get hit by the Annihilation, as it deals a lot of damage. Always try to make the Void Ascendant die like kinda close to the tanks, because when he dies he will be able to pick up an orb to clear his breath stacks from Vexiona. So if you're the ad tank, you just want to make sure you pick up all the ads from the portals and then bring them underneath the boss, Vexiona. You will have the little soul carvers. You want to try and use your utility to interrupt their spiteful assault casts, whatever you got. I used Ring of Peace there. And for phase 2 with Vexiona, you want to make sure you soak with your tank so he doesn't die. And you want to make sure every time Heart of Darkness is being cast, you move with your tank so you won't get feared and the other tank won't get feared. And that's about it for Vexiona. Skitra. Skitra, each tank tanks one boss, one on Kasil, one on Tekris. In this instance, I'm taking Tekris. If you're having Tekris on you, you just gotta face him away from the raid and make sure the bad pizza slices that he will make isn't facing, or facing the raid, or not like anybody from the raid will get hit by them. If you have Kasir, you want to make sure you interrupt his cast every single time. You can do this solely. On Heroic, a big ad will be spawning, and you want to make sure that you either taunt it, either of the tanks work, and get it on you guys, and make sure you can cleave it down with the bosses. When it's Tekris Hive Mind, you want to make sure the bosses are kept together. When it's Kasirs, you want to make sure you split them up. Also here, I use a world marker to coordinate with the other tank where to meet up the next time, since there's a lot of goo in the middle. That's about it for Hive Mind. Raden. Raden is very simple. You want to make sure you always tank swap at 2 stacks in the first phase, the Nullification Strike. Once the orbs are dead, ads will be spawning. It'll be your job as well to make sure they get taunted and underneath the boss so they can get cleaved down. When it's the Void ad, a big soak will appear. You want to make sure you're never in that. You'll have a debuff with 50% reduced healing, which is kind of lethal, or at least could be, so you want to make sure you're never in that. For phase 2, you wanna tank swap at every decaying strike, or decaying wounds I believe it's called. And of course you wanna dodge the purple swirlies. That's about it for round. Also very simple tank boss. Drastic off. One tank should always be on the boss, and every now and then a tank will get the big circle debuff on him. You wanna run away with the debuff to the other tentacles around the room. Apply the debuff to them, you'll see they light up orange. And that's basically all you do in the entire fight. Shadar. Shadar is kind of tricky, but very simple. You'll do crush and dissolve. If you're tanking him at the current moment and he uses dissolve on you, the other tank wanna taunt the boss to get the crush on him. So one tank won't get hit by both of them. That's very important. It doesn't matter if you get hit by 3 crushes, you just don't want to get hit by a crush and dissolve before the debuff has run out. So you tank swap back and forth, and that's literally just about it. Il'gynoth. We downsized our raid since Il'gynoth is really annoying on Heroic, because Il'gynoth will do a mind control. If it's not Heroic, there's no mind control to worry about, and everything else will apply. So we downscale it to a 2-2-6, 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 6 DPSs. On Il'gynoth, you want to tank swap at every 2 I-beams that he's doing. Once again, you see me put down world markers just to make it more easy to coordinate where people are going. So the Eye of Ny'alotha, the I-beam, tank swap every 2 stacks. Once you bring down Ny'alotha, 3 eyes are gonna spawn. All the DPSs will go to one eye, and the 2 tanks will split up to the other eyes and interrupt their cast at the very last second. If you do so, you should be able to interrupt it on every single cast. Alright, you see me looking around. He went to the other eye, so I go to this one and I will interrupt it at the very end of the cast. Once again, my interrupt is coming back up, and I just wait till the very last second and then interrupt it. And then I'm getting in the position ready to get back to Il'gynoth as soon as the second one of them spawns, or however you wanna put it. Always make sure your raid is never behind you when you tank him. That's also why we have the markers on us, so we don't get hit by the I-beam, or the raid won't get hit by the I-beam. Help out with utility and whatnot to try and break the mind control on your fellow teammates, and also kite them if you have to. Alright, once one eye is dead and you kill him again, there'll still be 2 eyes. One tank will be on one eye to interrupt it, the DPS will be on the other, and the first eye that got killed will now continuously spawn these blood ads. In this downtime, you can kind of deal as much damage to them as possible to try and help out the DPS so they can finish them off quicker. So that's basically what you see me doing here. I'll just run back and forth and damage the ads as much as possible. Alright, Carapace. Carapace you always want to tank swap at 3 stacks. Whenever the tentacle slam comes, you want to coordinate with your tank that one tank is on each side of it, so you can pick up the ads. On Heroic there'll be some big tentacles that you can bring the boss to be able to cleave the boss meanwhile killing the tentacle. I didn't tank this on Heroic in these clips, but I went here with my guild on Heroic with my rogue. There's a lovely dagger, so you can see the tentacle that I'm talking about here. Very important is that you never kick it, so if you're a paladin with Avenger's Shield or whatever it's called, you want to make sure you don't accidentally interrupt it. At second phase, I believe most people have been through it before. It's very simple, you still just tank swap at every 3 stacks. And of course you don't want to get hit by the big blast. Alright, phase 3. Everybody will have an AoE around them and ads will spawn. One guy is still in the boss and the other tank will pick up all the ads. Also, he's gonna do Infinite Darkness, which will make a big black shit on the ground. You wanna move the boss and away from it and just get some more space to work with. And that's honestly all there is for Carapace. Alright, Ny'alotha. Ny'alotha is a, almost want to say purely based tank fight. There's a lot of stuff. So, phase 1, you got this big guy, Psychus. You want to move him around the tentacles to apply debuff to him. Interrupt his mind wreck cast and just move him around through the tentacles. You can copy my route here in the beginning. I slightly fuck up the second route. Creeping Anguish, you want to try and always keep him close to the middle, because it spreads and you want to make sure you have the most room to work with. So in the beginning, you can see me just move around. I use my macro to make some quick skull markings on the tentacles I want my raid to focus on. Also, especially in case they are confused on which one to go for. You also saw me stop there for a second while he was casting Creeping Anguish, so my entire team could get ahead of him and get out of the way from it. Alright, we've been through the blobs, we're gonna get pulled here, and then 2 big tentacles will spawn. One tank goes to the first tentacle, and the other tank will go to the second tentacle. I got the most mobility out of our 2 classes, so I picked the second one. You see me kick that tentacle right there. If it's within range, it's kind of random where they spawn, so you kind of want to make sure you kick them. Alright, first mind gate. For heroic or for normal, you have one group going in the mind gate and one group stays out, or one half of the raid goes in and one half stays out. For heroic, you're gonna have to do both things. So here, my route is slightly fucked. You should always try to get 5 to 6 tentacles down before you kill him. We managed to make do with my shitty ass route here. So right there he's casting Creeping Anguish, keeping him close to the middle, and I continuously mark the tentacles I intend for my raid to focus on. Otherwise, once again, you just kick the mind wreck, if possible, and try to keep him, I guess, in a good position for whenever he uses Creeping Anguish. If you have DBM, you can kind of look at it. Sometimes I forget to. Also, you want to make sure you don't get hit by the fire, since that's gonna disorientate you for like 7 seconds, which can be pretty lethal. So yeah, for your run, you should aim to at least get one to 2 more tentacles killed before you go for Psychus. We managed to make do here, but I don't think this was very good. I think we were kind of lucky and just had some big DPSs help out, so that's pretty sweet. Alright, now you're gonna repeat everything again, except the mind gate is up again and you do not go in it if it's on heroic. For normal, you can repeat everything again. If you're not the group that goes in, you'll have more of these big tentacles. It'll be your job to tank them. Always try to make sure you face them away from your raid. Also, the Void Lash, you can move out of it once it's starting casting. I only found this out like recently. I actually have no fucking clue. I thought I was gonna take damage from it regardless, so I never bothered. So I've been taking loads and loads of damage that you should not be taking when doing him. You see, they will continuously spawn, I think up to like 3 or 4 of them. You kind of just rinse and repeat. Alright, phase 3. Phase 3 ads will be spawning. It'll be your job to make sure you have the aggro on them. There'll be a soak, you want to make sure you're in that if you have the sanity for it. Hopefully you should have that. But that's pretty much it for Ny'alotha, guys, and pretty much everything you need to know for Ny'alotha raid bosses. And hopefully you should be ready and prepared. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you found it helpful, hopefully it'll help you improve in your upcoming tanking for Ny'alotha or whatever. Also, thank you so much for watching, it means the world to me, and feel free to leave. Whoa, watch out!